Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. In today's video, of course, going to spend a little time with us today. This morning, me and Maggie are working on some pears. We went and picked quite a few before the storm. I've got some that have, bad spots here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and get those cut up. And thanks to you all for all the suggestions to use the pears, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and can these pears to have for future recipes. I made some fried pear pies and they were amazing. I'd like to use them maybe throughout the winter. That would be so good to have these canned pears. And plus, Maggie has taken a major liking to the cut up pears. So me and Maggie are working this morning to get these things peeled and cut up and ready for the canner. But see there, I don't really know what happened to that one. That may be one that fell out of the tree, but it's got all these bad spots on it, so that won't keep. I need to go ahead and do something with those.
I just cut the bottom off. I know I did not.
Easy
I'm
now.
trying to cut the bottom off.
Watch your little fingers.
I ate that whole pear.
You did?
Not none in the bowl.
Was it delicious?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even gonna be hungry come lunchtime, will you?
Nope. Well, I might do. I need to cut the old top off. If y'all don't want the top, just cut them right
Just
off with
chop.
your knife.
Just chop them off. Be careful with that knife.
I am. And then I'm going to just peel it right. Oh! Look at this file right here.
Yeah, you got you a good pile there.
I'm going to go down and check the garden across the creek because at this point, if anything's going to drown, it would already be showing signs of drowning. I'm hoping I pull up down there and see a nice, pretty garden, but we'll find out here in just a second. Well, I think at the moment everything looks okay. We've got one pumpkin vine right here. And I don't think that's got nothing to do with the drowning. I don't think that was water related right there because yesterday it looked like it was eat up with some kind of bug. So that could be the problem with that thing. I don't know. But the rest of the pumpkins out through there look okay. They're a little flopped, which ain't exactly a good sign. But maybe they'll come out of it because ain't nothing really turning yellow yet. However, the water that was standing in the garden's done drained out. Right there, still a little bit standing. Right there. Oh, me. Yeah, right there's another pumpkin that's something's happened to. You see it right there? I don't know if that's bug related or if that's from too much water. I don't know if I can walk out there. Yeah, I can walk out here now. It looks like the leaves are like sun scalded. That's crazy looking. I believe it drowned it. But the rest of the pumpkin vines are looking pretty good. We've got some yellow one right here. That don't look too great. But for the most part, I think they fared all right. The pumpkins is what I was worried about the most. Because I didn't figure like these peas and stuff that's under here. Now look at how our Dixie leaf peas are covered by the pumpkins here. We're going to have fun picking these things. We might actually ought to get down here this evening and pick some of them. And the corn still looks okay. And that corn out there that was blowed over stood back up. So I guess considering the fact that it had 5 inches of rain down here in this bottom, it don't look too bad. It really don't. Yeah, we definitely got some peas here we're going to have to pick. Right there. But these pumpkins just flat up swallowed these peas whole. But I don't like the way this looks. Like the way they're flopped there, they shouldn't be flopped with the amount of rain we've had. Of course, it could be just from the heat today. It is pretty hot. But they don't look near as good as they did. But I think it's still going to fare out all right. We'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell. Let's walk over here and look at the rest of it. Yeah, so here's the sweet corn that got blowed over. Now this didn't stand back up, but a lot of this stood up. Oh my goodness. Look at that, y'all. I thought I was going to walk out there. Here we go. It's a little more solid over here. It still ain't. Oh yeah, the farther out I go, I'm sinking up. Look at this, y'all. I might as well turn around while I'm still ahead. Golly, this is wet. Man, I tell you though, look at my tomatoes. These are probably some of the prettiest tomato vines we've had all year. We've got little bitty tomatoes in there making. Right there's one. All right, I've seen what I needed to see. I feel a little bit better about the situation, but I don't know. Those pumpkins just don't look good. But everything else looks all right. The sweet corn, I'm going to tell you something real quick. This sweet corn is tasseling out way shorter than what it should have. It is putting on ears. I can see one right there on that one. I guess the prior drought we had stretched that corn out just a little bit and caused it to tassel shorter than it should have. Put the fence back up. So I'm not 100% sure that we're actually going to get a decent picking of sweet corn off of this anyways, just because of the way it looks. But it is making ears, so maybe we will. If we don't, we don't. One thing that is looking good is the sweet potatoes right out there. See them? Those sweet potatoes must really like it down here. And the popcorn, like I showed y'all on the other video, all that popcorn's laid over. It's done made what it's going to make anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But most likely we'll be picking it before it completely dries, like before the stalk and everything completely dries, because if it's laid over on the ground, it puts it closer to where an animal can get it, or close to the ground like that, you know, it'll be moisture down there, so it could cause the corn to go bad. So we'll probably just have to pick it a little sooner, but it didn't really hurt that popcorn. That's fine. It's the rest of the stuff that I was kind of worried about.
So for our pears, we're going to do a simple syrup is what I'm going to can them in, just a light syrup. So it'll be 5 cups of water to 2 cups of sugar. Now this right here came from the Ball Book of Preserving that y'all hear me talk about all the time, and that's where I got the syrup recipe from. But 5 cups of water to 2 cups of sugar. Just give that a stir. And I'm going to see, I don't know if this will be enough to cover all these pears, but we're just going to see. If it ain't, we'll just add more. So it's as simple as we're just going to let this heat up to be sure the pears themselves are also good and warm and hot, and put them into jars and water bath them. It's very simple. I've canned them in the past and we didn't really eat a lot of them. So I wasn't going to just can plain pears this year. But like I said, y'all give me so many awesome ideas and recipes for the pears. I'm super excited about it. So I feel like this will be good and versatile that I can use in all the fun pear recipes.
So y'all have heard me mention in a couple of videos back, Jacob's lawnmower's been broke down. Well, it was the deck belt was broke on it, and we just got the new one here. So we're going to get that thing put on for him so he can get back to mowing. That way I ain't got to do all this mowing by myself up here. So this time, I hadn't opened it up yet, but it's supposed to be a genuine John Deere belt. So hopefully it lasts a little bit longer, because the belt that's on there, we actually put it on back in the spring But it was a cheap belt from Amazon, and I guess it just wasn't really no good. I don't know. I've never had a belt break that fast. So anyways, we're gonna have to pull the deck out and get this thing put on. Jacob, it looks like that tire's leaked down again.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure out where it's leaking at and put some air in it.
That one's always leaking.
Yeah, I know. Ever since we put it on. So some of y'all probably remember, this is the lawnmower that we pulled out of the woods. They had been in the woods for probably, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years, maybe longer than that. And you know, we got everything going on it and working, and Jacob's been mowing the yard with it all season long this year, and ain't really had any trouble other than this deck belt. So I'm pretty happy with how this thing here has done for us. And those of you who don't know, this is the lawnmower that actually started my mowing business back in around 2005 or 6, somewhere back in that. I bought this with what little bit of money I had saved up, and that got me started mowing. And then, of course, you know, it didn't take me long to outgrow it. We moved up to a 0 turn. But anyways, Jacob just absolutely thinks it's so cool that he gets to mow the yard with the mower that got me started. Yes, this is a John Deere belt. Good.
I've never seen a white belt.
So now what we're going to do is just scoop the hot pears into our jars, and then we'll pour the syrup over top of them and get them in a water bath.
What's syrup?
The juice they're floating in. Yeah.
So when the syrup gets empty, we're going to put it in there. What is around there in the sun's orange?
Yeah, that's probably good. Go on to the next one. There you go.
And we're going to put a lid on them.
Yeah, I gotta pour the juice in them first. Want me to get fish for the rest of them?
No. I think you got too many jars.
I did. I think you can fit the rest of them in that one. What you got left? And we're gonna be pouring that anyway, so if there's little pieces left, it's okay. Now I'm just going to take my hot syrup and pour over our little 4 pints of pears here. And we'll just see what we got left.
Oh, wait.
Well, maybe we ain't got much syrup left, but we got enough we could do maybe a few more pears.
Okay.
Alright.
So hard for me when it's time to can one more time.
Alright. We're going to water bath these for 20 minutes. 2 important things to remember about water bathing. Number 1, make sure you got something in the bottom of your pot that your jars ain't sitting on directly on the heat, because it'll cause your jars to bust. And number 2, make sure that your jars are covered by water. See there? Your time starts when your water gets to boiling.
Yep. Look where your belt started shredding before it broke.
That belt did not last long.
Well, it may have had something caught in it for it to look like that. Look all right to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spin it. All right, let's slide it back under there. Well, that was a quick and easy fix, wasn't it?
Yeah, huh?
You can throw that away.
Yeah.
So you fire it up and turn the blades on to make sure it's going to work. Beautiful. I said beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's get that tire pumped up and you'll be ready to roll.
Am I going out today?
Do you want to?
I'm gonna mow this.
Okay. Pull the trigger. See right there, it tells you how much is in it. That'll work. I guess little man's gonna get the yard mowed, or mow part of it anyways, and then he's got to get started feeding some stuff.
It's nearing supper time-ish, and tonight I had a hankering for some smoked chicken. Actually, me and Maggie both did. It's a little hot outside to be a fooling with that smoker, but we're gonna brave it, ain't we, Maggie? And so I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna get this ready. So I did cut the backbone out of this chicken. This was just a whole chicken. I cut the backbone out and kind of pushed it down flat to have it like that for the smoker. You're gonna get more of a smoked flavor on the inside, you know, in my opinion anyway. What we're gonna do, we want to pat dry our chicken here so it'll actually hold on to the seasoning that we put on there. And for those of you that may not know, we do raise our own chicken here as well. I haven't bought any chicken from the grocery store in probably 4 or 5 years, which is a blessing. They are, you know, it probably all evens out once you count in the rate, you know, how much it costs as far as feed wise and everything, but it's a whole different product, y'all. I mean, that's just all it comes down to. You comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. Now, we're going to take some oil and this is just some olive oil. Put on this chicken. Kind of rub it in. Sound like Jacob got his lawnmower fixed.
Yep.
So this right here is my favorite seasoning. I stumbled upon it in the Hispanic aisle at the grocery store. Decided to try it because I thought it smelled good, and you know, as you can see now, I buy the big bottle of it. It is so good. It's called the Dia Complete Seasoning. Now, when you smoke a chicken, you need to give yourself at least a couple of hours. you know, cook it low and slow, and it's gonna be great. Oh Lord, I got pepper in my nose. I'm gonna rub all this in here, kind of getting some of the nooks and crannies. We're gonna flip him over. I'm gonna do a little more on this side. Probably just do this on the inside here. All right, and that fella right there is ready for the smoker. Straight on the rack he goes. Now I'll be smoking this with cherry wood. I've gotten on a cherry wood kick the last few times I've smoked stuff. I'm really loving the flavor of it, and it'll take it at least a couple of hours to get done. I mean, give yourself at least a couple of hours, and I'll keep a check on the internal temperature, and that's how I'll know when to pull it off. But I'm gonna keep this on like low medium heat today, which will keep it between 250 and 300 to cook our chicken.
Go work on the road that washed going down to the barn down there from the tropical storm. And y'all want to hear something funny? I've been out here walking around like amongst all my equipment there, and I'm like, where in the world is my box blade? Like, I couldn't find it, and I was like, well, what have I done with it? And then it hit me. I had to move the Ford out of the way, and I realized it's already hooked up to the John Deere. Now, does anybody else have those moments? I mean, that made me feel really dumb for a second. So what you fixing to do? Shell you some corn for the cows?
Yeah.
I believe you got a pile of corn cobs back here you're going to have to get up.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
When I get all the corn shells, the next day, I'm going to pick up all the corn cobs and go dump them.
Well, you got a job because there's a pile of corn cobs, but you've about shelled all the corn.
Yeah, the corn used to be up to right here.
Yeah, it was level with the top. Good job. All right. Let's go get to work on this road.
If I keep doing these bucketfuls, that ain't going to take me long to get done.
I know. I'm going to let the tractor run for just a second and warm up just a minute, and I'm going to show y'all exactly what I need to be doing. So, see, all right, all down through here water rushes, and I've got it to where it turns off the road right there because I've got somewhat of like a swell right here where the water will come across the road. I need to pull this back up into there, and then right here I don't think it's going to pick up quite as much now because we've been driving over it. But right there, there's a wash all the way down the road there. And where we come around this road right here on the four-wheeler and the side-by-side and everything, and the kids do it so much, all the gravel have got worked over to this side. So while I'm down here fixing the wash, I'm going to move all that gravel back over to where it's supposed to be too. So it probably don't look like I've done much, but right here's about all I'm gonna do with that for now, because what I really need is some more rock on this spot right here. Right now, I'm just basically pulling up sand that's washed off of this, and so I don't have any more rock. The rock, I guess, is just finally just sunk to the bottom, sunk down the ground. But I don't know, I'll probably dress up on that right there a little bit more, because that's still got a ditch in it there. But I really need some more rock in that spot. But down here, I should be able to get it right.
To go with our smoked chicken, we're gonna make my version of homemade macaroni and cheese. I've made it other ways too, but this is all our favorite. So I've got the little block of Velveeta cheese. We're gonna cut that roughly in half. We're gonna pour us in just a little bit of milk, just enough to go around the bottom there. There we go. And we're going to put us in a chunk of butter. I'm going to stick this in a 250-degree oven. Just let it kind of sit there and slowly melt this Velveeta cheese. And I'll get my noodles cooked. Y'all can see my pears turned out beautiful. So they all sealed. I use the 4 jars lids. Been using them for a couple of years now. I actually reached out to them because I was so impressed with their lids that I wanted to see if I could get a discount code for our viewers and stuff of the channel, just because I've truly grown to love these versus the competition. So anyways, be sure to check the description for you a discount code if you want to try using 4 jars lids. I highly recommend them. Now, for as much Velveeta cheese as I showed you, I'm only going to use about half a regular box of macaroni noodles. And then I'll make this maybe next week too, to use up the rest of that cheese. All right, we'll let those cook till they get done.
So I believe for now this is going to be good enough for me. I want to show you what I've done here though. All of this area right here has actually got gravel, rock underneath of it. You see it there? But over the years, where everything keeps washing down this road, it's washed all this silt and everything out on top of the gravel. So what I really need to do is move all this stuff here and pull all this loose silt that's laying out here, pull it back to where it's supposed to be, and then get me some more rock. But there is rock here, and really this spot right here dries out so fast that like you can see the rock in there. After probably a rain shower or two, it'll kind of just wash off all this silt that I've pulled up in here, and the rock will actually be showing again. So there's more rock here than what it actually looks like. I know it probably looks like just dirt on camera, but there is rock here. And we will eventually get some rock out here. It's just not going to be right now. But I want to get all of that, like I said, I want to get all that down there moved and be able to pull all that loose sediment back up in here and then put the new rock on top of it. But once again, that rock ain't going to be no time soon. This right here is going to work just fine for what I need to do for now. Once this right here gets packed down really good, that'll be like a rock, and it'll be hard as rock again until we have another rainstorm, another hard rainstorm, and I'm sure I'll have water break and wash a little ditch down through here. But you know, that's part of it. There's always some kind of road maintenance or something that needs to be done, especially after a big rainstorm. Rest of the road down through there all held out good during the rainstorm. This is the only part where we have an issue, but this is also the part where we need to rock the most. So maybe sometime in the future, you know, I tend to do that kind of stuff in the wintertime if I need to get rock. Just basically simply because that's when I have time to fool with it. But, you know, this go around I'm going to have to buy a lot of rock. So it ain't something that I can just run out and do. You know, we'll probably have to buy 2 or 3 loads of rock to actually cover what needs to be covered in rock up here. But, you know, we'll get there eventually. This right here is going to work for what I need to do for now. And whenever we can do it, we'll get new rock.
All right, my chicken's good and done. It looks good. I'm just letting it rest here for a few minutes. Gotta get our macaroni made. So now we're just gonna pour this into our macaroni. And that cheese will go ahead and melt the rest of the way in those hot noodles. We'll just keep on mixing. If your macaroni's too sticky, just add you a little more milk to it. And we're ready to eat. Alright, let's cut into this and hope it looks good.
Oh, it's going to look just fine.
One thing that we love about smoking this, especially these farm chickens, is boy, they're juicy. Cut their skin. And tender. I actually had a little trouble with my smoker, so it took about 2.5 hours instead of the 2 that I was originally wanting, but that is just fine. You can just see how tender that is and how moist. I love smoked chicken.
That looks good.
It does, don't it? Alright. Is it good? I gotta fix Jacob a piece before you.
Fix a piece of what?
I wanted him to have a piece of the breast before you get too carried away.
Why is the breast part?
Yeah, that's the steak of the chicken. Ain't it, Daddy?
It is. It's the best part.
Give me a minute. But look. There you go.
Smells good, don't it?
It does. It looks good. And I'm sure it is good. So, here's some of the fig preserves you fixed, what, just yesterday? Day before yesterday?
Yeah, something like that.
And these things are delicious.
Think so?
Y'all do?
It's spread pretty good. So I also made these, which I didn't get it on video. Maybe if I make some more I will, but My goal this summer has to be make all these jams and jellies with no added pigments, just fruit and sugar, and that's the way I done them too.
You did them that way too? Now, will that affect the way it keeps or anything?
No, it just makes it not set up. Like I had to cook that for 2 hours.
Oh.
So if I had sure gel, it wouldn't have took but like 10 minutes.
So it ain't got nothing to do with
No.
keeping. Okay.
Just a faster. And you don't have to keep such an eye on it, you know what I mean?
So technically that should be healthier than what you did with the other.
I reckon.
Because it ain't got nothing added to it.
Because I mean, even when you use sure gel, you got to use a lot of sugar. So, he ain't gonna get you no potatoes.
Oh, I forgot about the potatoes.
They're hiding.
I don't want it.
I don't really want any of them.
Well, I done got me some.
You talk well now, Mama.
Well, y'all, we got our bellies full.
It was good.
Now it's time to walk it off.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
So-
Yum, yum,
Every
yum.
evening we take our little stroll down our road, down to the creek.
Thought you was gonna take a stroll down memory lane. But anyways, guys, I guess this is gonna be it for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yep, hope you might have learned a little something. And anyway, until we see y'all
Have
on the
a
next one.
good one.
Y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.